Welcome to this demonstration of SPREAD, our innovation spreader simulation. First of all, a bit about the simulation. SPREAD is a simulation to help understand how a number of factors can influence how an innovation, such as a new practice, is communicated, engaged with, adopted and spread in a community through what-if scenarios. The simulation is run with all levels of staff over a half-day session. The core skill areas which SPREAD targets include understanding your target community and identifying the benefits of spreading the innovation, assessing how ready the innovation is to be spread, and identifying any barriers which will need to be considered or you may come across later. Pinpointing and selecting the most appropriate strategies to promote the innovation in the best way. SPREAD can be customised to match the branding, data, target community, innovations and terminology of an organisation. Now to look at the simulation itself. To start the simulation off, we need to click on Enter Sim. This takes us through the main decision screen. There are various boxes to consider here. To start, we have to decide what our key model settings are going to be. To do this, you need to click on the Key Model Settings button. Here we can decide variables such as target population, population growth and so on. You can also select what your word of mouth settings are going to be. This is whether the population are talking to each other about the process or not. So once you've decided these, you need to click back into the main screen. You now have to decide how ready the population are to adapt to the change. This can be done by clicking on the Change Readiness button. There are 4 environmental factors and 4 new practice factors to take into consideration when determining how ready the population is to change. For example, we can decide how ready leadership are by determining how actively engaged and how for or against the change they are. This can be set by moving List Slider. This change will be reflected in the Change Readiness score at the top of the screen. This score will only change once we start running the simulation. If I click back into the main screen again, you can now decide what the below strategies are going to be and how much of an impact each strategy will have by clicking on the Change Strategies button. For example, for Strategy 1 at the moment, we can see that it has a lead time of 0, so will have an immediate effect. Each time the strategy is run, it will have a 10% impact on awareness. 5% of the population will become committed, 2% will become users, and 1% will sustain using it. You will also need to determine what the cost of the strategy is going to be each time it is run. Going back to the main screen again, we can now start running the simulation. You will need to decide what strategies you are going to use each quarter by selecting the box beside each of them. In this case, I'm going to run all of the strategies for this quarter. You also need to decide whether you want to run them with word of mouth on or off. In this case, I will select it to be on. So to submit these decisions, I need to click the red Submit button at the top of the screen. We can see our results by looking at these various tables and charts. First of all, this current community spread chart shows us how much of the population are changing from being unaware of the innovation to sustaining the innovation. The practice spread summary table also shows what the cost of the strategies are, what the target population was, what the current population is, and how much of the current population are actually engaged. It also tells us what the average spread is. This information is also displayed in the below graphs. To find out more about the SPREAD simulation or any of our other simulations, please contact us via our website.